the Middler Rebbe's Shaar HaEmunah Chaf Vav. It's chapter 26. I'm going to give a short introduction of what's going to happen, what the Middler Rebbe is going to bring in that chapter in English. Okay, so there's this amazing idea about divine service and how we can do it properly. And the crux of this whole chapter is this idea of having the heart above and our eyes down here below. And so as a way of getting to it, and that's for our divine service, and a way of getting to it in order to realize what that's going to help us with is as follows. Once upon a time, the Torah was given to the Jewish people. And on that mountain, the Jewish people looked at that mountain from where they were standing in the desert and going, my gosh, man, I am seeing what is normally heard. I am seeing the thunder. I am hearing the lightning. And while they were seeing the thunder and hearing the lightning, that was all in a very elevated and high plane. It was a very spiritual plane. However, when they were seeing what's normally heard, that was a spiritual seeing. It wasn't like a seeing in the way that a physical eye sees. So what the Middler Rebbe is coming to tell us is that Lasi Lavoi, in the future to come, in the times of the Messianic era, when Mashiach comes and the third temple is here, and godliness is pervading the entire world, and the whole earth will be covered with the knowledge of God like the waters cover the sea, at that specific time, our eyes. For my flesh I will perceive Hashem. For my eyes I will see godliness in this physical world. So when I'm seeing godliness in this physical world, I'm seeing it with my physical eyes, which is even higher than what happened at Matan Torah. Now, with this knowledge, in order to take that idea and live with that today, that's very nice, but that's only going to happen when Mashiach comes and everything. So how can I apply that today? The way we apply that today is to have the proper divine service, with our heart above and our eyes down here below. And the way we saw that was with the two examples that the Middler Rebbe brings, with Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai and Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, one of the greatest sages to ever live in all of Israel, was concerned that he was going to get Gehenna. What was he so concerned about? He was concerned that his godly soul didn't perfect his rational soul. Maybe one part of his godly soul didn't pervade his rational thoughts and emotions all the time, the way they needed to be pervaded with, so that he did everything perfectly. So maybe for that one thing, he was going to get Gehenna. Oy! Rabbi Akiva too was so concerned about not having had his godly soul perfect his rational soul that he was saying, hey, I'll give up my life for Hashem, no problem. I can't wait until I'm able to do that. Why? Because then I'll know that my godly soul has perfected my rational soul. Okay, so how could they do that? How could they do that in their daily lives? What kind of service did they employ? That's when they had their heart above and their eyes down here below. Why does that matter? Maybe their heart should have been down here and their eyes fixated on Hashem. Well, because when our heart is clinging to the essence of God, and our eyes are down here in this world, then when we're walking about in this world and our eyes and our heart is fixated with Hashem, when we're walking about in this world and are using our physical eyes then to know how to serve Hashem, when a certain advertisement passes us on the bus, saying to buy this and this music, to eat this and this food, saying to act in such and such a way, or when we're walking in the streets, certain people are dressed in a certain way trying to get our attention or whatever, then we're using our eyes to say, I know what I need to be doing right now. I need to be focusing on serving the Eibishter. I shouldn't be focusing on these things. Maybe I need to be focused on just getting to work on time, or even at that specific time, take a lesson of Torah that I already know and start to say it orally. And that's what happens when our heart is fixated above and our eyes are down here below. Because mibisari echsa elokah, from my flesh I perceive Hashem. When I see in this world down here, I'm able to say, Hashem is reminding me what I need to be doing, rather than getting confused. Because our heart is fixated with Hashem up above. However, if it's reversed, what's going to happen? If our heart is down here and eyes above, our heart is certainly going to say, hey, look at all these advertisements. Look at all these people around on the streets. Maybe I should buy this thing. Maybe I should eat that food. Maybe I should go see that movie. Maybe I should spend all my money and going to see that sporting event. I don't care what my wife thinks. I don't care what my friends think. I don't care about the job I need to be doing. I don't care about what I need to be learning for school. Who cares? These things are very interesting to me. And it'll end up influencing our eyes that are focusing above. Saying, hey, eyes, I know you're focused up there, but hey, man, we got to come down here. The eyes will be like, whoa, 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 hey, that kind of sounds interesting. All right. Same thing with how our eyes can pull our heart away if our eyes are fixated above and our heart down here below. The eyes will be like, hey man, look at all this godliness that's around me. Look at all this Hashemliness that's surrounding my every existence. Why are you down there, Mr. Heart? We need to go up there and get away from the world. We need to go sit on the mountain and meditate on Hashem all day. You know what I'm saying? And just like lavish in nature. And then that's how you get all these kind of weird cults that come around. Because their eyes are focused on a spiritual energy, yet their heart is pulling them in a certain ways, and you get all these kind of like weird hedonistic things going on, because they want a higher spiritual existence. However, their heart is pulling them toward physical wants and needs. So that's sort of what happens over there. So the idea, then, getting back to the mimer, the idea is that we should have our eyes fixated down here, so that from our flesh we can perceive Hashem, and have our heart focused and attached to its spiritual root. And in that way, our eyes can then influence the heart the way it needs to, and say, hey, keep focusing, heart, keep being with Hashem, because anytime we're down here and we know you to focus on Hashem properly and serve Him in the proper way, then the two can exist in the way they need to exist. The eyes can influence the heart, and the heart, when it's up there, can influence the eyes to look at things in a certain way. And same thing too, the eyes can say, hey heart, keep focusing, because I like the way I'm seeing the world. I like seeing God in the world. I don't like to see God hidden up. I like seeing God the way He's supposed to be revealed. And ultimately we should have it when Mashiach comes.